Here we go. This is for Taurus. Okay, generally speaking, this is what we have for Taurus. Well, it looks like you have had one fight after another, and you're about had enough. It tells me that. You have had enough. There will be no more you being, what would you call that, kiboshed or swiped by any unknown aggravations or antagonizers. The Nine of Wands in reverse does say that, you know, you have really had enough of the surprises or the issues of others or the conflicts of others, because you do tend to really be mindful of being helpful to your family, to your friends, but you get too involved. So it shows the King of Swords in reverse, which is a passive-aggressive type of personality. Although you may love them or care for them, and you know they do for you as well, their nonsense or their inability to focus good, or their inability to actually, let's say, do their own bookkeeping, or to make good decisions with their bosses, or to stand up and stand out and speak out. So their inability to do that may be causing you unnecessary stresses where you have to get involved. So it could be a son, it could be a husband, it could be a friend, it could be a brother, it could be an uncle, it could be a father. Okay? But the bottom line is that you've had enough of mothering people who should know better, or people that should be able to do it on their own. So the High Priestess card comes in and says, I don't mind being a healer and I don't mind being a helper, but I'm going to tell it like it is, and tough love's on its way. So I think you're going to have some, I think it's going to really help you feel better when you just sort of stop putting your effort into helping other people with their nonsense. Okay. All right. So then we have the Empress at the end. So as I said, even though you've been irritated and antagonized by unexpected issues of others, there's a weird part of you that really likes being Mrs. Fix-It. Okay? You may not want to be involved in the fights and all that, but you sure don't mind being involved in quick fixes and nurturing and loving. And I think that's okay. I think you're loving and kind, and motherly energy is needed by those around you. So even though you may not appreciate the irritations of their issues, you sure appreciate how they feel about you when you fix them. So keep that in mind. It's good with the bad. Okay? So let's talk a little bit about money. Wheel of Fortune cards in reverse. It does tell me that maybe there's a little bit of problems with you finding a good flow, or finding a conscious flow, or a constant flow. That's probably what's happening with you. But I wouldn't worry too much. It's on its way. But it might take a little bit of effort, a little bit of rerouting. But I'm going to say, give it 3 months, and the money sources will find themselves in a better way. Okay? So here we're going to talk about health now. Restrictions, limitations. If you're a smoker, you better quit. If you're a drinker, it's time to think about that. If you're eating too much, that too. If you're gambling, if you're stressing, if you are compulsive obsessive disorders, anything that causes you and your body to be affected by it, it's time to let go. So remember I said about the stresses of other people? It's probably not a good idea for you to get too involved, because the stress may be causing you heart issues, it may be causing you anxiety, and post-traumatic stress disorders, those types of things. But if you are addicted or are compulsive or are obsessive, you really need to look at it. It's time for you to take a good look at it. All right. Also, Taurus, I'd like to say this to your love. Well, you got two cards that I wouldn't like to have if I were you. It says to go slow, take your time, think things through. Maybe your lover is not giving you what you need. How do you get that out of them even after you've talked to them a billion times and you've done everything for them? They still don't seem to show and share their love with you the way that you would like. So I guess discussion is going to be required over the next month to try to get that relationship back on track. Okay, so speak up, say your mind, say your piece, say what's on your mind, and get your needs met, Taurus. Taurus Sun, Moon, and Ascendant.